Welcome to Elite at level against the Demon Queen. Another level 14 video. Thought this would be a good one to do to demonstrate the first life capability of the build. Not much has changed since my last video, but a couple things that I'll go over. Also didn't really explain Fire Elemental form very well. It is the same as the elemental form for a Sorc Savant. But if you're not familiar with it, it gives some nice bonuses. You get +1 bonus to caster level and max caster level for fire spells, but your water, earth, and air spells have a -3 penalty to caster level and max caster level. So it does take a hit to Greater Creeping Cold and Creeping Cold, but they're so powerful at this level that it's not really that big of a deal. You also get a +10 racial bonus to fire resistance and a -10 penalty to cold resistance, and you also gain access to certain spells like Body of the Sun. You get a +10 racial bonus to saving throws against magical poisons, racial immunity to natural poisons, sleep paralysis, and stun, and a 100% bonus to fortification. So some really cool benefits from being in elemental form. For gear, it's really the same since the last video. One difference is with the wolf, I got the Vampiric Stone Dust hand wraps converted to a collar. I farmed out Eyes of Stone, had to do it 3 times, but was able to get the Stone Dust hand wraps, and you combine, if you're not familiar, you can combine that and then the Staff of Shadow that you get from as an end reward for completing both the Lord's March 1 and 2 chain. It's not guaranteed to be on the list, but it's pretty common. And then you combine the Stone Dust hand wraps and the Staff of Shadow along with one of the marks that you get from the quests, and it turns it into the Vampiric Stone Dust hand wraps. And then you can convert any hand wraps, including named hand wraps, into a collar for your wolf or for your Iron Defender. And the Vampiric Stone Dust hand wraps helps with survivability because he's getting life when he's doing damage. It also has the Stone Prism effect, stunning +6. So it's a nice collar for level 12. Probably going to change out the Minos Legends too, because I did decide to go with the White Dragon Scale armor that includes fortification 100%. I already got 100% for it from the Fire Elemental form, so I'm at over 200 fortification right now. 210% with ship buffs. So the only thing I'm really getting from the Minos Legends right now is Vitality 20, and I can slot that somewhere else, so I need to figure out what I want to do there. Also, I just watched a video of Jaxi doing an Elite at level DQ, which was pretty impressive. I noticed he was using the Death's Door, and so I looked it up because I thought, what is a Druid using that for? Because it's metal. It's actually made of bone, so that's a pretty good shield to use at level. I think it's maybe level 12 shield or 14. Yeah, I think it's 14. So that's a good option to consider. Another option to consider for gearing is I was looking in the auction house for trinkets at this level because I was just still using the Voice of the Master, and the Shamanic Fetish, which gives devotion and bonus spell power to light as well. I think it has a slot, is a pretty decent option. Keep the wolf parked at the start. He's going to get into too much trouble and all the traps and stuff in here. I am fully ship buffed. Up until this point, I've only been using the new ship buffs, but I do have the old ones too, because I figured I could benefit from a couple extra points of AC, as well as it's a spell point savings to use the greater resist too, and that's, I can cast greater resist, so it's really just boils down to a spell point savings. So I'm up to 56 armor class fully buffed, which is pretty decent for level 14. I'm not going to do a tutorial so much of this quest. I'm not going to explain so much of it because I already did one. There's an Epic Elite tutorial that I did that includes how to get here. that I did on Gingerspyce. So if you're looking for information on the specifics of the quest, be sure to check that video out. Good times. Also, don't need to breathe while you're in elemental form, even fire elemental form, so you can swim without worry of running out of breath. Still using heal scrolls as my primary healing mode. Have a 95% chance of using them now, so it's pretty solid. Also picked up the Word of Balance SLA. Just tier 2 right now. Somebody asked in my forum post about the build, like, what do I do about traps? And it's basically just a lot of hit points and avoiding them. So most of the traps I know where they are, and I know how to avoid them. But a lot of times I forget and I run right through them. But having this many hit points, along with Spring's Resurgence, that's what really saved me in that Von 3 video I did with the triple force trap door. If not for the Spring's Resurgence, I would have been dead, and that will save you from dying. It actually kicks in before all of the damage would be applied, so it doesn't take you down to like neg 50, and then you die before it tries to apply it. It applies it right away as soon as you go down, before all the damage would actually kill you. So Spring's Resurgence is just so awesome, especially during heroic levels. And it's such a perfect enhancement for me, because I'm one of those players that's always forgetting to look at their health. killing mobs are a pain. Just trying to kill them with SLAs instead of pulling out the big guns. If I had cast Greater Creeping Coal on him, wouldn't stand a chance, but it's a lot of mana. Oh, I need my feather falling item for this. To drink some pots. If I was a TR and I had the torque, mana would not be an issue. Unfortunately, don't have that luxury. Also, Body of the Sun can't be blown out like a firewall or other AoEs can, so it's really nice for mobs like these that are often going to blow out. Ooh, my buffs ran out too. Make sure you have Death Block on for those guys. They do cast Phantasmal Killer. accidentally hit that trap, but just did a little over about 100 damage. No big deal. Get me into these poison traps. Could stand in these all day. No damage. So far, the toughest challenge for me has been Elite Whiz King. It was really easy right up until the Whiz King, but he was very hard for me to damage. It was basically just Firewall and Body of the Sun was only getting through. Nothing else that I had was working on him, and I actually had to... I went in there with a half a bar, and it just wasn't enough, and I had to let him hex out in the next room and go back down and use a shrine and come back with a full bar, and it took my entire bar to take him out. Gonna come out of Fire Elemental form for this, so that Creeping Cold does more damage. The healing over time spells are really huge here. I'm just hitting myself with Regenerate, and that's enough to keep me from going down. She hasn't been able to out DPS the Regenerate. Spring's Resurgence is huge too for the times when she hits you big. And that's Elite at level against the Demon Queen. If you have any questions about the build, you can respond to my forum post. If you have any questions about the videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you're on Sarlona, you're more than welcome to send me a tell.